Today's topic is business model. A business model is how you figure out a way to monetize, how you figure out a way that we have a product or service that people are going to be willing to pay for, and we're the right people to offer that product or service. Because I always like talking about Mansour and promoting Lepre. Happy to do it again. Mansour knew his target demographic. He knew who he's trying to go for. He stopped by on Friday night and we discussed many things. And I asked him what he's doing this year that is different from previous years. And he said, in light of COP28, we're going for sustainability. And I was like, thank you, because that is something I've attacked Mansour on in the past. And he's like, yeah, doing sustainability, but for the record, sustainability is really expensive. And so, yes, you can expect to pay more when you go to Lepre. Anyhow, I paid 95 dirhams for my burger, and it was absolutely delicious, and I have no regrets. It was awesome. You know, it's a treat. Also, he's not going for me. His target demographic is not me. It's totally fine if I'm not willing to pay that for it. His question is are there enough locals out there willing to pay for it? So when Mansour and Yahi and I were working on Dwak, our business model was a freemium model. So we'd offer certain services for free and then charge a premium for if you wanted better. Pretty much all business models have been disrupted in the past decade thanks to Google and Amazon, because Google has made, for those of you who have any connection to marketing, the term is search engine optimization. Google has made it so that you have to appear not only on the first page of a Google search if someone's searching for your business, but you got to be in the top 3 or 4 responses, because people's attention span has now gone to a point where if you're even number 5 as an option, no one's going to see you. Amazon has ruined the world as literally this information just came out last week. They scour the internet to find if anybody who's selling on Amazon is selling a product for something less than it's being sold on Amazon. That is unbelievably corrupt. And as I've said many times, I am very grateful my government is going after both of them. They both need to be broken up, period. There's no world where Google should have that monopoly power. You know, the super irony of Google is the fact that Google exists only because Microsoft faced antitrust lawsuit back in the late 90s. Back in the late 90s, Microsoft had no problem being the dominant player in everything they do. And they had no problem. Again, none of you are using Netscape browser, and the reason in Netscape was hands down the best, but Microsoft realized that, hey, if I give something away for free, even though it's the crappy Internet Explorer, people will take free over paying for something that's a quality product all along. And so, yeah, the US government went after Microsoft on antitrust, and it's from that the little search engine known as Google, which, you know, was the little search engine out there, became what it became. So, yeah, Google needs to be broken up. There is no world where YouTube and Google should be in the same universe. There is no world where Amazon should have AWS. Both companies need to be broken up, and it will be good for the shareholders in both companies. So the bottom line is that I'm not going to go into the various business models that the book talks about, because in all truth, a lot of them are just not real. What you need to know about business models is you have to be able to show a way that you are going to eventually make a profit. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but like in a couple of years, you're going to make a profit. The success of Netflix is the king of everything streaming, and they were not profitable for like the first decade that they were in business. But Reed Hastings was able to convince investors that we're eventually going to be profitable. So just, be willing to give us some money. We'll eventually make a profit. Having a good story sometimes can trump actual profitability. Netflix has always had a great story, and Reed Hastings is the best at telling a story. And so it's not surprising at all that they received all the investment money they did and that their stock price is where it is and blah, 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 blah. Not here to do a commercial for Netflix, but, now they're profitable, but there was time back there where it looked like Netflix could even go under, could go bankrupt themselves. But Reed Hastings just kept on going on, and by developing original content, they became what they are today. House of Cards was their super big hit that was a breakout hit for Netflix that got them a whole lot of investors. I couldn't watch it myself because I'm, one, not a Kevin Spacey fan. Two, his fake Southern accent just drove me crazy. And yeah, nothing about the other thing that I'm introducing a whole lot of topics here, and I'm totally fine doing that. The Me Too era, which apparently students now don't even remember, but it's not that far ago. It's when people in Hollywood got exposed for doing horrible things to other people. Kevin Spacey was exposed for he's gay, and he got exposed for basically forcing underage boys to have sex. And so they fired him from House of Cards, and with 1 year left for the final season, they didn't do the final season because Kevin Spacey is a horrible human being. And for the record, the reason I dislike him has nothing to do with the fact he's gay. The reason I dislike him is that I just don't think he's a good actor. But I digress. Anyhow, you have to have a business model that eventually shows you're going to make a profit. And if you can make people believe that you can eventually make a profit with this, or that it's eventually going to be, that it's going to have some type of good in the long run, then people will be willing to invest in you. For my students in the entrepreneurship class, again, all I want from you is that you come up with an idea that people will want to implement. People will want to invest. And so the panel that will be judging your final thing is all about, if you could put money into this, would you? To my students in strategic management, the era of companies being able to do what Netflix did is over, simply because interest rates are now much higher. It's easy to say to Netflix, in the era of cheap money, in the era where interest rates are 1%, 2% and so forth, it's easy to tell Netflix, sure, no problem. You don't need to make money. We'll let it ride. When interest rates are where they are now and inflation is at where it's at now, a company is not going to get away with being able to do the Netflix model. So that's it. That's all you need to know about business models.